Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hard Count Football Podcast Live. My name is Jacob Charno, leading the next generation of football fans live on the Hard Count Football YouTube channel and on Bucks Report. We have some really fun guests lined up for tonight, including recuse. So let's get right into it right away with some of these top stories from this week in football that I really want to talk about. Remember to feel free to join the stream using the link I am about to send out, or call in to the phone line. Remember, 201-474-5183. Call in, ask me any of your questions if you want to debate with me about anything. So let's start off with this. And I know we're on Bucks Report, but let's talk about my team for just a second, because this is very important in my life. The New York Jets have decided, and Christopher Johnson, owner of the Jets, has informed head coach Adam Gase that he will be relieved of his duties after Sunday's game against the Patriots. Finally, this is happening. I am so excited for the day that Adam Gase gets fired. We knew it was going to happen, but now it feels real, and it is here, and it is exciting. It is exciting. But the bigger story here is that the Jets have secured the number 2 pick in next year's draft. They lost the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. They beat the Browns. They beat the Rams. They can no longer get that pick. That pick is now secured to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this is the current NFL draft order. If the draft were to start tomorrow, this is what it would be. Jacksonville picking at 1, the Jets picking at 2. That is locked in. Miami owns Houston's number 3 pick. That's scary for that Miami team because, oh my lord, they are going to be really good in the next couple of years. Atlanta owns the 4, Cincinnati the 5 because they beat the Texans. Philly 6, Detroit 7, the Giants 8 for now, and then Carolina at 9 and Denver at 10. Those are the main ones that we want to talk about. Now, the main question I'm going to answer is, what should the Jets do with that number 2 pick? A question I have been getting a lot. And, what should the Jets do with that number 2 pick? I've heard people say, keep Sam Darnold. Should they draft Penei Sewell? Should they, draft Justin Fields, draft Zach Wilson? Here's what I think. What I think the Jets should do is trade the pick. Why would the Jets trade the pick? You may ask me. The reason the Jets should trade the pick is because there are needy teams that have won games. The Jets are not the only team that shouldn't be winning games right now, okay? The Cincinnati Bengals should not have won that game against the Texans. If you want to talk about tanking, the Bengals should have secured their number 3 pick by losing to the Texans in that game. It made no sense for them to win. Now they're picking at 5. Okay? The Bengals pick at 5. They need Penei Sewell more than anybody. Right? Come back on. Let's pull this graphic back up, okay? Just for a second. Right? The Jets picking at 2, Cincinnati at 5. I could absolutely see the Falcons taking Penei Sewell. I could absolutely see the Cowboys trading up for Penei Sewell. He is a I know Jets fans, you love to hear the word generational. Penei Sewell is a generational offensive lineman. Generational offensive lineman. Okay? If you're going to trade up for a guy, you're trading up for him. And guess what? You can still get Zach Wilson if you trade down to 5. The teams that I think could take a quarterback are the Jets, the Lions, the Panthers, and the Broncos. Panthers are picking at 9. Denver's picking at 10. They could easily trade up. I understand that. But I think that if you're getting a haul for Cincinnati to trade up to 2 to prevent someone else from taking him, I think it's worth it to trade the pick. I really do not think that the Jets will be picking at 2. I think that they will end up trading the pick. And I do think that they should draft Zach Wilson, but mostly because we don't know what the salary cap is going to be next year. It's going to be hard for the Jets to pay Sam Darnold. It's going to be really hard. Right? They're going to have to pay a bunch of guys. They have a lot more. They have a bunch of holes to fill. They can't afford that hit of paying Sam Darnold. So I think they do need to draft a quarterback. You bring in the new coach. You give him a guy that needs to develop, not a guy like Sam that needs to be fixed. Let some other coach fix him. Don't spend more years trying to just fix Sam Darnold. Because if it doesn't happen, then you're stuck in a hole where now you miss out on Zach Wilson. You miss out on Justin Fields. And now they're off winning games somewhere else, and you're stuck with the 2022 third quarterback prospect, because this Adam Gase, any coach can be better than Adam Gase, and I think any coach would have won a few more games than Adam Gase did, obviously. So you're stuck with these. You're stuck with a worse quarterback. And if Joe Douglas wants to draft his guy, he didn't draft Sam Darnold. I think Zach Wilson's the guy they'll go to, and I do think they'll trade the pick and maybe get another second rounder out of it for a team that needs Penei Sewell or a team that needs Justin Fields. That's enough of the Jets for now. Let's move on. Let's talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, let's bring him in, the professor, Johnny Dean. Johnny, what is going on, man? How are you?
First off, congratulations, man. That's great news for you guys.
I know.
Get rid of that bum.
Yeah, finally. Oh my lord. But Johnny, let's talk to you about this Bucs game. The Bucs soundly defeated the Lions 47-7. I think the game went exactly how it should have gone. I don't think anybody expected anything different. A lot of people were, thinking, maybe because it's Bucs fans, so they think that they're going to lose every game or think that something's going to happen that's bad to them. But for everyone saying Tom Brady was washed, this must have been a fun game for you to watch, wasn't it? Because
it was fun. It was an extremely fun game to watch. I finally actually got to watch the game yesterday. But I didn't expect anything other than the outcome. I wasn't expecting a close game whatsoever. I mean, there's everybody who was thinking that Stafford was going to make a big deal when there was nobody there to play the game for him. You can't play. The quarterback is just a quarterback. I mean, he can be the greatest quarterback on earth, but if you don't have the team surrounding him, he's still nothing. He's not going to win all these games.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. They need to get Stafford out of Detroit.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't take me wrong. No, get me wrong now. That was a great performance by the Bucs. It wasn't. I'm not even implying that we beat them just because they weren't a good team. We beat the team that we were supposed to beat the way we were supposed to beat them, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Right. No, exactly. Tom Brady, 348 passing yards and 4 touchdowns with no picks in the first. I think that was in the first half, was it not? Or a little bit into the
first half.
Just the first half. And then, forget that Tom Brady guy. Blaine Gabbert comes in and lights up the Detroit Lions.
Right.
143 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't know who this Tom Brady bum is, but I think you should just sign Blaine Gabbert. 5 years, $300 million. Just give him all the money. Give it to him.
Don't let Ray Kennedy hear you say that, man. He'll have the pin ready for him.
Is he off the Josh Rosen train yet, or is he still on that?
I don't know. It took him a long time to get off the Blaine Gabbert train, and now he's going to be back on it, right?
Yeah, of course he will. I mean, this just helped his cause more than anything. But everybody on this Bucs team went off. Chris Godwin had a touchdown. Gronk had 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans had himself a career day. I mean, 10 catches, 181 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I'll say I was wrong. I will say I was wrong. I know it's crazy. I was wrong about Mike Evans. I think, he's not the best route runner, but he is. I had him out of my top 10 receivers for a little bit. He's back in there now. This is it solidified it for me. He's great. I mean, they work him to his strengths, and he does what he's supposed to do when he's on the field. And they completely destroyed this Lions defense, man.
I believe if you go back and look at his tapes when he's playing in the slot, and you see his route running ability a lot more, and he's a Swiss Army knife. You ask him to do something, he'll do it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, let's get through some of these comments. All right, where did you hear this about Adam Gase? A guy on a talk show. Oh my god, I forgot his name. But it was a reliable source. A bunch of news outlets have reported it. Jets insider news outlets, and it seems like it's going to happen. It's almost guaranteed at this point. And Joey says Jets Super Bowl 2021. Not quite. We need hopefully a few more years. I would love that though. That'll be fun. Whoever we bring in at quarterback. Go Bucs, says Alita. Same. I think they trade the second pick for so many picks. I think they could get a nice haul for that number 2 pick. Johnny, what do you think?
Yeah, I can see it loading up.
Yeah, for sure. And we could still get Zach Wilson or whoever if we trade down. That's the best part of it. Is we
what
could
did
still
the
get
Browns get for that? What did the Browns get for that number 2 pick a few years ago? I think they got almost like 11 players.
Yeah, I think they got a lot. They got a lot for it, and I think that you get more. I think you get more players for that 2 pick than you do draft compensation, right? I mean, probably.
Yeah.
And that's so. I mean, I'm looking for the Jets have a lot of holes they need to fill. I'm hoping they can fill them and not have to pay these guys a lot of money. Mike says, "Hey, Jacob, what's going on, Mike?" Ryan says, "I think Denver gives Locke one more year, new head coach and an offensive coordinator, no time to really learn the now offense because of the pandemic. Give them time this offseason to learn the offense and get healthy." Well, Ryan, they've said it's already reported Denver's not firing Vic Fangio, so I don't know. I can't see. Maybe Pat Shurmur getting fired either. If Fangio's still the guy there, maybe, but I don't. Locke was a guy a lot of people were hyped up about because of his finish last season. I don't see it in him. I was hyped up about him too. You watch him, I don't see the it factor that you do with a lot of other guys. I don't think he has that, and you can't settle on a quarterback without an it factor in this league. The whole premise of the NFL, you keep searching for your quarterback, and once you find him, you find him. But if you don't, you got to keep moving on. And I don't think Drew Lock's the guy in Denver. And I think that what Denver should do is probably bring in a more of a. I know it's a young team, but you have to bring in a veteran guy because John Elway cannot draft quarterbacks.
I think the first thing Denver's got to do is bring in an offensive coordinator. Vic Fangio's done well with the defense there, which we expected, but on the offensive side of the ball, he needs a better offensive coordinator there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't love Pat Shurmur either. I don't think, but I don't know if they'll fire him, which is what I'm worried about. Because Denver I don't know what they got going on in Denver. I'd love to have a Denver Broncos fan on here to tell me what the hell they're doing over there.
And don't forget Josh Allen was, it took him time to develop into that scheme too.
Yeah, you're right. I think maybe they'll get a QB like Hurts. I think the most. Justin Fields would be the closest thing you can compare to Jalen Hurts in this draft. He's the most mobile. And I don't think they'll take Justin Fields. I don't think he's their guy. It depends on who their coach is, obviously, because they're going to hire the coach before the draft. It's all a matter of who they hire, so we can't really be talking about that. That's kind of a critical factor in which way they go. They played Evans way longer than they should have. Had the man running 50-yard flies in the fourth, up 40. They're trying to get him to that. What is it, the 1,000-yard mark? And yeah, so and they'll play him for a little bit on Sunday too, and they'll get him that 1,000 yards, and they'll take him out because there's no reason.
That's a huge record, by the way. I mean, that to beat Randy Moss's record, you can't take anything away from Evans with that, man. And the touchdowns,
he's great.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, no, he's great. Remy says, "How are you talking about the Jets? Go Bucks!" Because this is my show. I talk about whatever I want.
Tell him, Jacob.
No, I talk about the Jets. I'm a Jets fan, but I talk about the Bucks too. We just had our conversation about the Bucks. There's not a lot to talk about this week with the Bucks, really. I mean, I have plenty of more shows to fill to talk about the Bucks.
We have a couple of things to talk about with the Bucks. Number one, the Rams not starting Goff and stuff.
You're right. There it is. And this was something I was going to get to in a second, but I will talk about it. It's about Washington, right? They released Dwayne Haskins. I think it was yesterday. They released him yesterday, and didn't get picked up on waivers. He's free to go wherever he wants. I do think that the Rams will look at him. He's just, he has more NFL experience than a lot of these guys. I know they just signed Blake Bortles to their practice squad or something. But so if they don't start him because he knows the offense already through Sean McVay, because he was a backup there for a while, I think they might go with Haskins. I mean, he's going to be better than whoever that guy was that has never started a game before in his life. So
are you sure? What makes you think that? I haven't seen anything out of Haskins that qualifies for that. I mean, I've seen a lot more. Goff is so up and down, it's pathetic, but still, Haskins hasn't shown me anything at all.
Oh, no, I don't think Haskins is a good quarterback. I don't think he's a viable starter or even backup in the NFL. But I think that, you look around the league right now, how many guys can you go get that can fill that hole? Like that Goff's leaving for the next 2 weeks. I don't know. I really don't know. Haskins is a guy a team's going to sign to just develop, see if they can get something out of him because the discipline's not there. Obviously, people have problems with his character after this whole strip club thing the last few weeks, which is I don't even like. Okay, Johnny, can you explain this to me because you're in the NFL? I understand that there's still people, but you're in the NFL. You have a certain level of responsibility. Everybody is taking this thing seriously with the COVID pandemic. You're getting tested every single day, and you go out and do this dumb stuff. Like, come on, like how irresponsible do you have to be?
And posted on Facebook and Twitter and stuff. So yeah, that's immaturity, plain and simple. And I can't see anybody in the NFL wanting to sign that to their team other than Bill Belichick.
Oh God, I don't even. I go ahead, Belichick. Sign. I'm done on this whole bit. Whoever Belichick gets, he's gonna make great after this camp thing. So I'll let Belichick go and sign Haskins. The only guy I don't want Belichick to sign is Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm scared what he'll do with Jimmy.
I mean, he's looking at Stidham right now because of Cam, and man, Haskins would fit right in between those two, in my opinion.
Yeah, you feel for Cam though. I mean, Cam is. I think everyone was hoping for him to come back and play well, or a lot of people were. I don't know about Bucks fans because that whole Panthers thing, but
I think the Bucks fans are the ones responsible for him being like he is now, man. He got hit so much. Levante David has his number, man.
Yeah, I cannot. Yeah, I don't. The Patriots are an interesting situation. That's gonna be a great offseason story. Is the Patriots again, because they're gonna be back in the quarterback market, I think, for sure. And it's gonna be, listen, right now. I'll pull this back up again because why not? The Patriots are currently picking at 14. So, and if they lose to the Jets,
they've had in years, man.
I know. And if they lose to the Jets on Sunday, which I do think they will lose to the Jets on Sunday, then that's going to be a higher draft pick.
Yeah, so, after that performance last night,
that was rough. That was really rough. It was ugly. It was ugly. But let's talk about the NFC East a little bit, because there's a lot going on in this division right now. That is, I got
Dallas winning that division.
Right, because the situation basically is Washington plays Philly on Sunday night. That's a win and in for them. If Washington loses, then the winner of Dallas versus the Giants wins the division, right?
Right.
So I don't think Washington's going to beat the Eagles, obviously, because we don't know who's going to be starting at quarterback if Alex Smith isn't healthy. I think it's Taylor Heineke, so he's not beating the Eagles. That's not happening. So it's going to come down to Dallas versus the Giants, and it would be something if Dallas still ended up making the playoffs after all this. But I think the Giants have a better chance in the playoffs than Dallas does, for sure. In terms of coaching and everything, but the Dallas just feels like they get destroyed as soon as they start. I feel like the Giants could just walk in and just blow Dallas out of the water. I feel like it could happen.
Kind of on a run here lately, haven't they?
They have. I mean, the Giants had an ugly game last week, and I think the week before too. After that Ravens game was just the Ravens and the Browns games were just gross. Those were ugly, but everyone loses to those. Are good teams. You can't blame them. I mean, those are solid football teams, and the Giants kind of lost that game, the Browns game themselves. And the Ravens the Ravens look like, I know they might not make the playoffs. I think they will still, because they just have to beat the Bengals. But the Ravens seem like they could make a run this year. And I know we say it every year with Lamar Jackson, but this feels like a year that the Ravens, they're coming in as underdogs. I think they could slide in and do something.
That's their favorite position. Every time they won a Super Bowl, it came in at like the 5th seed or the 6th seed, man.
I know, because no one's expecting it from them this year. Nobody is. Nobody's expecting it. But I think, I think the Giants will probably end up winning the division. Maybe. I don't know.
You like the Giants in that against Dallas?
I do. I think I have to look at the inactives and, who's obviously not playing. It's only Tuesday. But for now, I do like the Giants. And I would like to see Daniel Jones have a playoff game. I don't care about seeing Andy Dalton have another playoff game. I don't want to, or Mike McCarthy in the playoffs. I don't want to see the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs. I want to see the Giants with Joe Judge and Daniel Jones and all these guys.
I'd love to see the Bucks give Dallas another one and done.
That would be nice. Right, because would you guys end up playing them, you think?
I'm pretty sure we would.
All right, you guys got to win, and then with the Rams not playing Jared Goff, so
So even if we lose. No, that still leaves us at a tie, right? We wouldn't change seedings though if they lose.
Right, you're right. So, yeah, I don't know, Johnny. I'm gonna let you get out of here because I'm gonna bring Rick in here in a sec. But go ahead, join whenever you want again later in the show if you want. But thanks for joining me. I always appreciate it, Johnny. Smart guy. He knows what he's talking about.
All right, man. Take it easy, Jacob.
All right, see you, man. Rick.
Hey,
what's up?
You scared me there.
I tried to click off Johnny and I brought Rick in, but
that was like, hi.
Rick Hughes, everyone. What's going on? Live from the Chiefs seats and what's cooking in the South. We got Rick Hughes here.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm doing great now after I got the Adam Gase news. This is it. This is it.
Yeah.
We got Sunday. We just have to deal with Sunday. That's it. And I can finally root for my team, Rick.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to this. As soon as I can root for them, they're going to get blown out by New England again. And it's
I don't know. Not if it's the Patriots from last night.
No, definitely not. But I really want the Jets to win this game. That would be just the Adam Gase to go out with a win. Let him go out with a win. I don't even care anymore.
Why not? Right.
Yeah. Rick, let's talk about this Bucks game. What'd you think of it? They destroyed the Lions. There's not really a lot to talk about from the actual game, but go ahead, tell us your thoughts.
Well, there is, as far as, I mean, look, if this team is starting to click on all cylinders.
Yeah.
What has been the big criticism of the Buccaneers? They start slow.
They did not start slow.
Right. So if they're starting to click on all cylinders, that's news. Who knows whether that's the case or not, but I tend to think Tom Brady in the playoffs, he's a different animal. He raises it to a different level. Things change. I don't know. I mean, this is all new, I guess, for all of us. But is there news from the game? Look, you're supposed to beat a team like Detroit, especially in the situation they were in. I get it. Maybe you're even supposed to beat them rather handily. The Bucks did that. So the best thing you can say is, look, they did as good as a very good team would do. So are they very good? Remains to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I've been saying this, Rick, on your show, on my show. Once the Bucks start to click, we see the teams that make playoff runs are the ones that click late. This team starts to click now. They're going to win. They are going to make the Super Bowl. And
if they start clicking,
if they start clicking, they're going to make the Super Bowl. But their main competition right now, I'm not even going to say the Saints. It's the Packers. And I know you guys blew out the Packers the first time you played them, but the way that this Packers team looked, the way this Packers team looked, on Sunday night, 40-14 against the Titans.
No, but the way the Saints have looked against the Buccaneers twice this year.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara,
I don't think the Saints are going to have a chance to play the Bucks. I think they'll lose before that.
Well, and I hope you're right.
in true Saints fashion.
Yeah. I hope you're right. You're right. I don't know.
But Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he's the MVP. I think we can all at this point. I mean, Mahomes has had a bad December, I think. In terms of Mahomes, he's had a bad December. He had a bad game against the Falcons. Aaron Rodgers just continues to roll.
They haven't lost any games, but he's had a bad December.
Right, it says a lot about the actual team around him, right? I mean, and the coaching and everything.
Right.
If Aaron Rodgers wasn't on the Packers, I don't think they'd.
What does it say about Belichick this year? What does this year say about Belichick? I mean, and that offense, and I'm going to play a clip during my show a little bit later, talking about the fact that Brady was supposedly a system quarterback. Then you look at the system, the Shanahan system without him, everywhere that he's been without Brady, and what the results have been compared to now. And
do we think of Belichick of this situation as more of a Pete Carroll thing, where if Pete Carroll didn't have Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll wouldn't have a job,
right?
So is it more along those lines, where is Belichick really this? And I'm not denying Belichick's greatness as a coach, because I do think he's a great coach, but I think it's I think that there was, as Colin Cowherd likes to say, there was the divorce, and Brady won the divorce, and he won custody of the children and everything involved.
Well, what is Belichick's record without Brady in the NFL?
I have no idea. It's probably
46%.
Oh, that's rough.
46% without Brady. What is it with Brady? Over 70%.
A lot higher than that. Yeah,
over 70%. So at some point, And now look at what was the the Buccaneers. How were they before Brady? How are they now?
Yeah, you're right. No, there's no argument there. Brady has made New England better. Brady made Tampa better.
Yeah.
If Brady makes it to the Super Bowl without Bill Belichick,
then that story's written. Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation to have. But call into the show 201-474-5183 or join the show. I'm sending out the link again right now. Join the show, debate us, talk to me and Rick. We have a lot to talk about. We will either tell you, go ahead, tell us we're wrong. We love to hear it. We love to hear
absolutely. Bring it.
Please tell us we're wrong.
I'm wrong a lot. I know that I'm wrong a lot. I'm good with it. Come on.
Yeah. Cam has no weapons. I'll agree. And that's a huge reason why Brady left New England. And it is one of the main stories coming in about Brady was, How is he going to do with if we saw him without these weapons and he was winning games? How is he going to be with all these weapons? And guess what? He looks like how we thought he would look with all these weapons.
You know, New England was a top 10 offense last year, and now they have a better offensive line.
That's it's crazy. It is insane. It's
They're 28th this year. The main difference.
And the question now is, who would want to play in New England?
They lost a lot of people. They've lost a lot of players like to opting out and things, but they were on defense.
Yeah.
The offense is actually, other than Brady, pretty much intact, and they have a better offensive line this year. And they were top 10 last year, and they're 28 this year.
No, completely.
Oof.
No, and I don't think it's all Cam's fault either. I cannot blame Cam for that because what quarterback can work with no weapons?
What? apparently I got one. I can name one. Yeah, he's been doing it.
Yeah. Well, I just it's not going to work for Belichick anymore. It's going to catch up to him. Not being able to draft offensive players is going to catch up to him, and it's starting to now. It happened this season. He doesn't have the pieces he needs to win football games. Yeah. And I don't think any quarterback that comes in there that isn't named Tom Brady is able to do what he does. There's 3 quarterbacks I think that could work with less weapons. Or 3 with no weapons. I think it's Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, and on occasion Deshaun Watson.
And Aaron Rodgers is
Aaron Rodgers too, but he has Devontae. But I think that no one else. Right. Well, that's true. And even in the games Devontae hasn't played, they were playing well.
Right. That's why I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I'll tell you this straight up. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I can respect him. I can say he's a good quarterback.
I don't like Brady, but I respect Brady. That's
yeah. But Buffalo. I got to tell you something, Jacob. I'm sorry I hate bringing in the bad news for you.
Oh, no,
but I feel like you're going from the frying pan into the fire where, okay, New England was that good, and now you're going to have to deal with Buffalo.
I've said time and time again, I think Buffalo's the only team in the AFC that could take down the Kansas City Chiefs right now.
I don't know that they're the only team because the Chiefs have looked very beatable, but I will say, see, everybody seems to be anointing Mahomes as already like maybe being better than Brady. He has won 1 Super Bowl. Okay, he's won 1. Let's give him that. And props. He's a great quarterback. There's no doubt. And he's doing things that are just phenomenal, maybe even never seen before. I'll give him all of that. Yeah. Talk to me in 19 years.
Right.
you know?
Right. Yeah. I don't think the game is moving towards the direction of Patrick Mahomes and the way he's taking it. And I think that, he does. It's hard to say this without people being like, oh, you're criticizing Patrick Mahomes. Guess what? Patrick Mahomes should be criticized like every other quarterback is in this league. And I'm not denying his greatness, but he's done a lot of questionable things in the last couple of games. He's made a lot of bad throws, a lot of, it's just he's made throws that have been interceptions that should have been caught that were dropped. There's a lot going on there, and that's not taking away the fact that Patrick Mahomes is still probably the best quarterback in the NFL.
I think that's probably correct.
In the NFL.
That's probably correct.
But he should be criticized like every other quarterback, and I'm tired of the media being like, "Oh, he's
you can't criticize him. You can't criticize
Mahomes." It's insane. It's insane, and I'll criticize everybody. I will criticize every single team in this league.
Back in the day, it was that way with Marino. By the way,
it's just
back in the day, way before your time, nobody could criticize Marino. It was like if you said something against Marino, it was almost like, it was like you just said something bad about Jesus. I mean, it's like, you can't say something bad about Patrick Mahomes, or everybody looks at you like you're nuts. And I'm not. And this is what's funny. I say something like, okay, look, he's won a Super Bowl and he's been fantastic thus far in his career,
right?
But he's got 1. Okay. I mean, there's a whole lot of players who have 1.
You know who else has won Super Bowl? Nick Foles. And I'm not saying Nick Foles. I'm not saying they're the same player, but it's to give him credit just for rings. It makes no sense.
Right. So
just for 1 ring.
Right. That's why I say stack a few. Okay. Right now.
He goes back to back this year. We'll have a different conversation.
Right. Then I put him in the Ben Roethlisberger stratosphere. Sure. Because he's won a couple. All right. Yeah. I mean, then you start doing it that. I mean, I think that's fair to do.
Yeah.
And talent-wise, athletically, of course, he's better than Eli Manning.
Absolutely.
But Eli won 2, and he didn't just win 2 Super Bowls, he won 2 MVPs
And he beat Brady
in the
twice.
Super Bowl.
He beat Brady.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, things are never as cut and dry and simple as I would like them to be in my little brain.
No.
But this year, when I look at teams like Buffalo, or I look at teams, to me, the Chiefs don't look unbeatable this year.
No, everybody. I think
only one
everybody's
team's
seen
beat them, by the way, but they don't look unbeatable.
No, for sure. The Giants will always play the Cowboys tough. You're right, they always do. Whatever team represents the NFC East will lose their first postseason game. This is 2020. They'll probably make it to They'll probably make it to the Super Bowl. Go Giants. We got some Giants fans. Vaughn looked good versus the Lions. Does he have a future in Tampa? Absolutely.
Yes.
100%. He has a ton of talent. He's an extremely talented back. Rick, I think you would absolutely agree with me.
Yes.
On that one. He's a great running back, and he's probably the future running back in Tampa, if I were to guess.
That's absolutely true. And I mean, pretty soon I'm going to start saying he's the victim of volume, but we'll wait on that.
It's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. In the last 3 games, Brady's gotten better each game. He's already raising his level of play, and the team has followed suit. Brady, here's something I'll say. If there is everyone's like, oh, I'm worried about the Bucs in the playoffs. Is there anybody you would rather have in the playoffs than Tom Brady leading this team? And Brady has gotten better each game, and he's raising his level of play. And the fact that that's starting to click is dangerous. And that is so exciting if you're a Bucs fan to be watching this team finally being able to do something on offense consistently.
Yeah. I mean,
it's all about consistency, no matter who you're playing.
And the number he's great. I mean, granted, the Buccaneers don't have this stellar history with quarterbacks, but in 1 year, he's breaking every record. And quietly, and this is what's funny is it was 2 weeks ago that we were hearing, oh yeah, it's a failed experiment. Maybe he should go back to New England. Do you remember that talk about
it belongs on the segment, Rick. It belonged on the segment.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, there's a certain amount of, it was not that long ago. People were saying, oh, this is a failure. This is a failure. And how many times have you seen me bring up people saying, oh, they should have Winston back? I mean,
Rick, that guy who came on, I went off on him. I went off on that guy. Oh my God. That was a completely, this Winston argument. I'm so tired of it. He's not on the team anymore. What do you mean you should have what do you want him to do? Like sign him back, trade for him? You want to trade Brady to the Saints? No.
Well, they were saying the funny part is, and this is back when they were talking about, the Buccaneers, it's a failure. This has been a failed experiment, and Brady wants to go back. You remember it was Brady wants to go back. This was the rumor. Brady wants to go back to New England. And that was a rumor. And Brady came out and that's when Brady actually came out in an interview and said, I will never live in that part of the country again. When he said, are you kidding me? When I'm out in the sun on a sunny day, getting on my jet ski and it's December, I'm not going back to Boston.
Why would you want to?
Right.
Who would want to play in Boston? They don't get, especially as a quarterback, they're not getting you weapons.
Listen,
they don't care about you as a quarterback.
Everything that people talked about the Patriot way.
Yeah, it's called the Brady way now.
It is.
It's the Brady factor.
Well, the system, everything. Listen, how many free agents have lined up traditionally, have been willing to take pay cuts to go play for New England? And Belichick, right? Yeah. It wasn't and Belichick. It wasn't. It was how many players wanted to go to a winning team that they felt that was, had a leader like that. And look at what's happened, man. They're flocking out of New England and flocking to Tampa. Now, listen, I'm a Bucs fan. I've been a Bucs fan since the first year of the franchise. Let me say that there's no other way to word this. There's damage done to the psyche of any individual who's been a fan of the Buccaneers for any length of time. Okay, I am fully prepared for a complete and utter disastrous flameout. Well, I hear you.
Very similar teams. Very similar teams.
Yes. But talk to me in 30 years after you do this for 30 years.
Right.
I mean, and it's that's damage to your psyche where you're just like, oh, come on, stop. I mean, you got to realize Jacob, I became a Buccaneers fan at the age of 8.
The day they were
All right.
created. Like
Yeah.
the day they were
So,
created.
the day they announced, I listened to the press conference. I was informed by my mother that I was going to be a fan of this new team in Tampa, and she sat me down and made me listen to the press conference, announcing the team.
Right.
And the thing is, they didn't win a Super Bowl, near that time period. Okay, that was 1974 that I was sat down and told I'm going to be. I was 8 years old. You're going to be. Everybody's doing math. I'm
Right.
54. Get over
Right.
it. Stop the math. Pay attention. When I was 8 years old, and they did not win a Super Bowl until 2003.
Right.
So think about that. Think of the time period of disastrous losing and embarrassment and just heartbreak year after year after year. Think about that for 30 years, right? Now you've gone through it for how many? Okay. Now think about it for 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I will though. I will go through.
You might. Okay, you might. But let me go somewhere with this. I've actually, there's a point to this, is you become trained to lose. It's a defense mechanism to, like you've seen how many Bucs fans they're constantly ripping on the team and everything. It's because I can't let my guard down and hope.
Right.
I've done this too many times and I know what happens. I know what's on the other side, feeling hope. And that's why I can sort of forgive Bucs fans, even when I make fun of them. I can sort of forgive them for this trauma that they've experienced. And Jets fans are going through the same thing. I think Jets fans, it's like, oh, great, we won. We even screwed it up by winning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like even winning is going to turn out bad for us. And I get the feeling and I understand it. And it's real. The year after year, the pounding that you take where you're putting your emotion into it. This is real. Like, okay, so I majored in psychology, right? Look, it's a fact. You put your energy, your hope, your passion, you invest it into a team. All the hope, all this, everything. And they just constantly let you down or hurt you.
Yeah.
That does something to a person. And as a fan, it's the same darn thing that you have to deal with. And when you can't even cheer for a winning team, tell me that's not almost an exact example of like being in a traumatic relationship. You can't even get happy during the good times because, oh crap, I'm about to get hit.
Right.
Or whatever. I mean, it's an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
And the moment you're happy, the moment you feel good, bam. And that's the way Jets fans feel, and the way Bucs fans feel, and the way Detroit fans feel, and the way Browns fans have felt. And the Browns right now, the Browns are not assured of a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Could there be anything more Cleveland Brown than missing the playoffs this year? I mean,
I think they're expecting it, Rick. You're right.
Ugh.
How can you not?
It's heartbreaking, isn't it? I mean, I feel for him.
All right, Rick, we're getting a call in.
Okay.
What's up? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mr. Jacob Charno and Rick Hughes. How you doing? It's Ron, Rick, Jacob.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron, what's up?
How you doing, Rick?
Good, man. How are you?
You guys hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
You might not be able to hear me. You may not be able to hear me.
You can't hear Rick, but he said good. He said good. How are you? But what? Rod, what's your question, man?
Hey,
What's
man.
up?
Hey, man. Just listening to you guys. Hey, just I want to tell Rick. I can definitely kind of relate to how Rick just broke that down here. Being a Buck fan. And then I was noticing I was born in Tampa originally, and so like I said, I became a fan. I think when I was old enough to know what football was, which probably would have been maybe '83 when I was 6 or 7. Realizing that my city had an NFL football team always meant the world to me. Definitely been. So it was kind of the post '79, the post '80, NFC Championship / 1981 that we won the division.
Right.
We still had Batman Wood and Logan and Selman and Ricky Bell, so team experience some fairly good years, and it's in somewhat of a infancy time frame. But focusing on the here and now, man. I see some people saying that how Arians is like a mediocre coach and all. And, I don't know if I can I don't know if I can completely agree with that. I mean, I think we've seen Arians be the type of coach where if it started out from just a level of being a coordinator or a quarterback's coach, I mean, he's coached the best of them. And I mean, isn't it fair to say, guys? What do you think, Jacob? Rick? I mean, Arians is maybe not the best when it comes to being a defensive-minded coach, but he knows how to put a team together and to get the pieces to the puzzle to maybe create that good defensive front or that good defensive scheme. I think he's done that here so far, and keeping good players and negotiating with Jason Light and management to keep a lot of this defense intact and bringing Todd Bowles in. And hey, man, we're in the playoffs, so
yeah, for sure.
Will, right?
And Ron, you and I have had some.
Yeah, for sure.
Ron can't hear me.
Yeah, Ron can't hear. Ron, Rick will respond. I'll respond first, and Rick will respond, and then you'll check. Just listen to his response on the show because I'll figure this phone thing out eventually.
Okay, look. Just say this to Ron.
You're good, man. Good show going on, Jacob.
Tell him after he hangs up, I'll tell him.
You guys had a wonderful Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year. And go Bucks, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, for sure. We're gonna respond right now after we hang up, and then you call back if you have any more questions, man. For sure. Right,
yes,
peace.
sir.
Yep. Peace. All right. So here's here's what I'll say for that. Right, Rick, you go first because I'll go after.
Okay. I just want to say for anybody who says Bruce Arians, mediocre, he's a mediocre coach. Okay. Let me just say this. I'm going to read this to you. Raheem Morris, Greg Schiano, Lovie Smith, Dirk Cutter. None of these guys got this team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
2 years. It took Bruce Arians 2 years to come in, and this team is not just barely in the playoffs. They're not backing into the playoffs. To be honest with you, they very well may have the second best record in the NFC. Think about that. Okay, right. that could happen. All right, if they're 11-5, which is kind of crazy that's the second best record, but I mean that may be the case. And there, by the way, there may be teams that are 11-5 in the AFC that don't even make the playoffs.
Yeah,
right. But look, a mediocre coach doesn't take a team. Look, the Bucks are not backing into the playoffs; they're kicking the door down. If they have the kind of game that I think they're going to have, they're kicking the door down and announcing their arrival. The fact that they're set up to play the NFC East division champion, if they win this game against the Falcons, that means they're also going to have week one of the playoffs where they will probably be favored by a good chunk.
Yeah.
Now they have to go on the road. Everybody's going to say, oh yeah, but they got to go on the road and play. They're 6-2 on the road this year.
And the chances are the place they're going doesn't have fans.
Correct. But again, 6-2 on the road this year, and they were better on the road last year than they were at home.
Yeah,
so
and they wouldn't be traveling cross country for any team they play.
Right.
It'd be Washington.
Well, it could be the Rams.
I thought it'd be either if they're playing the winner of if they're playing the 4 seed, couldn't it be they would be playing Washington, Dallas, or the Giants?
Correct. If they're playing the 4th seed, but if like let's say they lose this game and they drop down to instead of being the 5th seed, if they drop down to the 6th seed, if the Rams end up at number 2, they could travel out there.
The Seahawks do,
yeah. Yeah, so they definitely could.
So there is the chance, but if you win, let's give them the win Sunday for now. I know nothing's a sure thing, but let's.
You mean like the Jets and Rams?
Yeah, that's actually exactly like that. Yeah, no, I think that it's for Bruce Arians, the fact that people are saying he's a mediocre coach is just wrong. And to say that with this defense, I'll give Todd Bowles most of the credit on defense. The head coach, one of their jobs is to hire good coordinators,
right? And
he hired a great defensive coordinator in Todd Bowles, and Bruce Arians is mostly in charge of the offense, I think, and this offense is starting to click. So I don't want to, and Bruce Arians is the exact kind of coach you would need to get to a Super Bowl this year. And if there's a list of coaches I would trust in a Super Bowl with experience, Bruce Arians is on that list for sure. So
And you tell me this, Jacob. Kind of being disconnected from Tampa media for
Yeah.
a lot of the year. Did you hear a whole lot of criticism about Byron Leftwich all year?
no,
Okay.
not at all.
In Tampa, Byron Leftwich is brutally it's awful.
Yeah.
The press and media that he gets. Some of it deserved, okay? And I will stand by this till the day I die. You run 5 times in a football game, you deserve every bit of criticism you get. If you break the all-time forever and ever and ever NFL record for fewest rushes in a game, you deserve whatever criticism you get. Having said that, Tom Brady is having the best year of any quarterback in the team's history. The offense is the best of any team of any time in the team's history. It's really kind of hard to be that tough on Leftwich at this point, isn't it?
No, it is. You're right. And people like criticizing things. And when you look at the offense, instead of criticizing anybody or anybody else, you blame the offensive coordinator. I think it's the same thing in Pittsburgh right now. I hear all these Steelers fans blaming the offensive coordinator, Randy Fichtner, I don't know his name. But in reality, a lot of it's Big Ben, and most of it's Big Ben. That most of these problems, and the fact they don't have a run game, and it's not the offensive coordinator. He's doing what he can do. They're not calling bad plays. Ben's just making bad decisions now.
Right.
And I think, and you can't be putting all the blame onto your offensive coordinator. Guess what? I'm not putting all the blame from the Jets onto Adam Gase. I'm not putting all of it onto Darryl Loggins. A lot of it is these players. Sam Darnold certainly did not have a good year. And that's what I'm saying. And when you watch Darnold's film, the problems go way beyond Gase and way beyond his weapons and everything. He has actual problems. And his footwork has problems. His decision making's terrible.
So much of that is coaching, though.
But a lot of it, in games where Gase wasn't calling plays and where Loggins was calling plays, you still saw it. And
I'm talking the footwork and things like that.
And you saw it his first year with Bulls also. And you still see, and I get that was his first year, but the fact that it hasn't helped, it hasn't gotten better at all, and you're still seeing because no matter how much coaching it is, you're still a football player. You're still playing in the NFL at that level, right? You played football before, you're going to play football after. You should still be making better decisions, right?
Right.
So I think that a lot of, and it's hard to fix a quarterback. It's as much as you could say he can just thrive somewhere else like Tannehill. It's hard to fix a quarterback like that. It's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen with Darnold in New York, and that's a whole different story that I already talked about. But yeah, Johnny says, Jacob, I'm anxiously waiting for stupid things Jets fans say, especially now with Case retired. It's not coming this show. It's coming. It'll come after this, and there'll be plenty of after, especially towards the draft. That'll be great. PTSD, JTSD, Bucks and Jets traumatic stress disorder. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. The Browns are just doing Brown stuff. Let the Browns be Browns. Okay. No, you're right. No, you're completely right. 2-time coach of the year and 2 Super Bowl rings. Mediocre. You're right. You're right there. You're right there. Some people don't do research with things, and some people don't do research. Oh, I think there was something going on in the comments. I would have to go back. Someone was getting mad at each other. How far do the Bucks go? As far as Tom Brady takes them.
Well, you know what I'll say to that? I'll say, I guys, if they are clicking on all cylinders,
they're going.
Sky's the limit.
Going to the NFC Championship. That's the reality.
Right. If they're not, I mean, if the last couple games are a bit of a ruse because they were playing teams that weren't so good, if they're in for a reality check,
it could be out in the first round.
Yeah, I think they'll win the first round.
I think so. Yeah.
It's just a matter of whether they've learned to start a game. If they start a game with a little bit of success, I think they're close to unbeatable.
Yeah, there's not a lot of teams
starting games.
There's not a lot of teams that think. Oh, here we go. Kyle Arians is as mediocre of a coach as they come. Definitely costed us some games this year, but better than Dirk Cutter. That doesn't seem. I've only been on Bucks Report for a couple months, and I already know it's not that hard to beat Dirk Cutter. I don't think that's.
I put that back up.
Okay, hold on. Oh, but I think Tim.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, put it. Put it back up. Wait, put it back up. Okay. Thank you. I need it for Sunday's show. Thank you. I got it now.
There we go. There we go. You're welcome. Kyle says 1-2 record as a head coach in postseason. I don't want to talk to you, Kyle. What do you guys think of the Bucks line? I think it's a little suspect. They're hurt. They're very hurt, and I think that once they're there, I don't think it's suspect. I think that you're not. It's just because
Offense
you're
or
not
defense?
perfect doesn't mean it's that questionable.
Right. So are you talking offense or defense?
I'm sure I'm probably offense, right? I mean, their
Well,
defense line is solid.
Okay, let me say this. The offensive line has played phenomenally well this year. I think they're top 3 rated in the league right now. Even Donovan Smith and Jacobs heard the wrath put on Donovan Smith has
He's played well the last couple games.
he's played well for the last half a season.
Yeah.
And I mean the offensive line, Brady has some of the fewest pressures. He's kept the cleanest, like one of the cleanest jerseys of any quarterback this year. Fewest pressures and sacks. The offensive line, they're running the ball well.
So Bryce was talking about the offense.
Yeah, Bryce. What do I think about the offensive line? I think they're underrated. I think they don't get the respect they deserve. They're actually rated highly.
Yeah, they are.
So it's not that they're underrated; they're underappreciated.
Rick, do you want this one too?
Sure. What is it?
Speaking of the offensive line,
Well,
Donovan Smith is trash.
I can't call that. I can't call that entirely stupid because if you watched the first 5 games of the year,
Right. If you watched the first couple games, then it wasn't good. But
Right.
now, he's played well the last however long, and I think that's. I don't think Donovan Smith is as bad right now as because it's his name. It's the name. Yeah. So that's annoying. But this is completely off the Bucks topic. But this is something I wanted to ask you about. Right, the Dolphins, this Miami Dolphins situation. So they have a win and in situation in Week 17, except for the problem that they have to play the Buffalo Bills. Now, will the Bills be resting their starters? Probably not, because I really don't think they will.
They've clinched the division. I will say that.
I think that they could limit their starters, and they haven't said anything. And if they do not play their starters, then it seems like a game that the Miami will take easily. What so it's the question is Tua or Fitzpatrick, and if you pick Fitzpatrick, should the Dolphins draft a quarterback next year? And here's my answer to that: is looking at Week 17 and looking at what happened against the Raiders. You have to. No one's gonna like this. I think you have to start Tua. I think you have to. And I think if that doesn't work, you can bring in Fitzpatrick. And I think, or you run packages with Tua. It's just Fitzpatrick does fit this offense right now better than Tua does. But Tua's young. You're throwing him into a fire that he's not used to. You can't just judge him right away on this. I don't think it's just.
Well, no, I don't think so either. And their record is, what are they? Are they 10? I think they're 10-5. Yeah. 10-5, yeah. Look, whatever the Dolphins are doing, they're doing well. So.
Right.
I mean, again, that's one of those teams that could be 11-5 and not make it to the playoffs. Look, what do I think they need to do? Exactly what they've been doing. And, that's go ahead and start Tua, put him on a short leash. You got to like Fitzpatrick. Any Bucs fan will tell you he's one of the favorite all-time players to ever play for the Buccaneers. You got to love the guy's heart.
You do that for the Jets too. You can do the same thing with the Jets. Every Jets fan loves him. How can you not?
Yeah, how do you not love this guy and just think this guy he's the ultimate in, man, the guy gets a raw deal wherever he goes, or it's just he's the okay, bring him in so we can draft somebody good. And I mean that's what it comes down to. And you know what? I would something makes me feel warm inside to think about if he ever got to go to a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl.
Can you imagine the Dolphins somehow make it to the Super Bowl this year, and then and they're playing like Larry Fitzgerald, like the Cardinals also make it, and that would just be what a Super Bowl, what an ending.
Tell me you don't feel a little bit of a little warmth in just to think of Ryan. I mean, imagine the post game press conference and how fun that would be. With him,
it'd be fantastic. Fantastic.
So look, there are a lot of good stories, and that's what's fun about this postseason.
Yeah.
And by the way, I like the extra team.
Me too. Me absolutely. I think it's a lot of people don't. On the flip side, a lot of people don't like that the second seed doesn't have a bye. A second seed, why should you get a bye? You're not the best team.
Yeah. What do you think though about next year? They're going to be 17 weeks, and that means half the teams are going to have 9 home games and half the teams are going to have 9 away games. And that's kind of a,
That's
is
interesting.
that really fair?
Yeah, no, that's weird. That's weird. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's keep it. Let's keep it in the AFC East here. This is something, Rick. Last time I had you on was 2 weeks ago, and the Jets draft situation looks a whole lot different from the last.
Yeah,
time.
a little bit, doesn't it?
A little bit.
See,
So-
you should have had me on earlier in the year.
I know. So let's catch everyone up. So last time we had a whole talk about whether the Jets should not take Trevor Lawrence. Now guess what? They don't have the chance. So now that
Right.
case goes, what's your prediction for the Jets draft? Lots of people predict they will take Sewell and not a quarterback. Rick, you go ahead. I harped on this earlier. You go ahead and tell me.
You know what? I don't even know who they're going to have as head coach, so it's hard to tell you
That's the
because I don't. Yeah,
You're right.
are they going offense? Are they going defense? Are they? I don't know how they're going to build this team or what kind of a guy is coming in. Is it going to be an Eric Bieniemy? Is it going to be a?
Everyone wants Joe Brady. I don't want Joe Brady. He has a first year as an offensive coordinator. I can't take 1 year when Eric Bieniemy has been so good for so many years. I can't just take the first year guy and expect him to develop our future franchise quarterback, hopefully. And
No,
just-
what you need is if you could get a head coach somehow that has experience. Too bad you can't get a Ron Rivera.
Jim
You know,
Harbaugh.
too bad. Yeah, what's that?
Jim Harbaugh.
I think Jim Harbaugh is a great example of that. Would be a great. I mean,
I love the idea of bringing in Jim Harbaugh for the next
Yeah.
quarterback.
that
I
if
love
that happened, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be great. I'd love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Oh God, this is a great question. Do you see any possibility the Patriots trade up for Trevor? If the Jaguars are stupid enough to trade away Trevor Lawrence, which they won't, you know what? I'm not even answering it. They're not trading away Trevor Lawrence. So no, there's no possibility that
Are
that
they are the Patriots are they a develop? You know, it is almost like the Bucks in the sense that you've got an older coach. Is he really thinking develop a quarterback?
Nope. No, absolutely not. That's why I think they bring in a guy they already developed in Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. Hey, a big Lions fan here. What's up, Nick? Do you think the answer in Detroit is to trade Stafford or to just draft defense?
Much respect to you, Nick, for being a big Detroit fan, and I mean that.
Welcome
That's
to the
not
boat.
sarcasm. Yes, welcome to the club. We can all just commiserate together. Listen, I mean, what do I think? Look, God, I hate to see the talent wasted. Oh, now you speak about thinking about a quarterback that would be awesome to see play for the Jets.
Yeah.
Stafford. That guy's
we have too many pieces to fill. I think I would rather see him in Washington. I think I'd rather see him in Washington. I think
Really?
Stafford. I feel like I love Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
He's tough as nails. But it's I don't know. I really don't know. Listen. I think the answer in Detroit is to draft defense. You need a defense. I don't think you need to trade Stafford right away. I don't think you should also keep. Like, here's the thing: the Lions need Stafford more than Stafford should want the Lions. That's the difference. And I do think that this. I don't know. I really don't know. I really do not know.
I think almost that situation to me seems almost exactly the same as the Falcons, where it's not that the guy you have isn't good, but you've got a new coach coming in. It's time to kind of blow it up and start over.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Matt Ryan's going to be out there. Stafford's going to be out there. Let me tell you something, Jacob. There are going to be options at quarterback.
Yeah,
So-
no, there will be. There absolutely will be. But Rick,
If Harbaugh comes in, he's going to have his pick of some decent players.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's rapid fire these. About to wrap this up. I heard on a football show recently that Jets may end with Brian Dable, Bills offensive coordinator. I'd love that hire too. I think he's a good option to bring in. I like the coaching tree comes from also. Stafford is a lot like Romo. Jacob, if you're running the Jets, what's your decision making for 2021? I don't Dable or Hart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
start there. Yeah.
Harbaugh, I think, or Dable.
Yeah.
I like Harbaugh. Harbaugh's my top option right now.
Okay.
But yeah, Rick, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining me. Go ahead, tell us where we can find you, promote yourself, all the fun stuff.
Well, in an hour, right here on Bucks Report, I will be. We'll have what's cooking in the South. It's kind of the intersection of food and football. We get to talk both. Something I enjoy. It's kind of a laid back, cool vibe that I really like. And on Sunday nights, things get a little weird. We have live from the cheap seats, Jacob is usually a part of that show. We have a whole lot of fun talking about stupid stuff Bucks fans say, and it gets a little weird. Yeah, you guys, that's just a fun show.
Yeah,
9 o'clock on.
That's a really fun show.
Yeah.
Very, very interactive. Extremely
Yeah.
interactive. Bring the fun. Let's do it. All right, Rick, I'm gonna get you out of here, man. Thanks for
Have
joining
a
me.
great
I'll
night.
probably talk to you later, honestly.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right.
Look
All right.
forward to it.
For sure, man. For sure. All right. And Rick, thank you so much once again. And with that, we're going to wrap today from the Hard Count Football Podcast Live. My name is Jacob Charno, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. Special thanks to Rick Hughes and Johnny Dean for coming onto the show. Be sure to go follow me on Twitter at Jacob Charno, Instagram at Hard Count Football, and now on TikTok at Hard Count Football. And like always, remember to check out the Hard Count Football Podcast Live every single week on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Hard Count Football YouTube channel and here on Bucks Report. Make sure to go check out other videos from Hard Count Football and subscribe.